credence. The case of beating the brakes off a crooked as is used car salesman. We beat the brakes off of this crooked as is used car salesman, family. I'm sure those of you who have purchased used cars, they have a big sticker on them, as is. But family, as is isn't always necessary. As is, let me explain. I had a client come to me. We'll call her Miss Brent. She purchased a Cadillac from a pot lot dealer here in the Mile High City of Denver, Colorado, was known as South Broadway. Pot lot dealers family in the trade is basically known as car dealers, used car dealers that buy here, trade here, low credit or no credit, that type of thing. That should be a red flag to you right there. But I purchased several cars from pot lot dealers. So in this case, family, Miss Brenda purchased the car. She traded in a Cadillac, and she gave him $1,000 down. Now, family, I've known Miss Brenda from doing previous business with her client friend. Initially, she had come to me to help with a probate issue regarding her deceased mother. We left her at her siblings' home, and they were squabbling over. So Miss Brenda came to me with the probate number, which I helped her to do, was able to eventually negotiate and get the property in her name. So she had confidence in me. So basically, the story goes like this, fam. Miss Brenda purchased the car, traded in a Cadillac. Like I said, Miss Brenda had a home, so she was working on the side. She had kids, and um, but she's always had her new Cadillac or used Cadillac. So she traded in a Cadillac and $1,000. She got in the car from the lot that can travel. Before she got home, less than 8, 9 blocks from the dealer, the car blew up. Well, that's how she described. So she called the dealer. The dealer said, "Hey, you purchased the car as is. Don't you see the big as is sign on the window? This is how you purchased the car." So, family, they would not even tow the car back to look at. So, family, she had to tow the car home herself. And in the conversation, the dealer also told her, and furthermore, you still have to make the payment. So naturally, family, she came to me, her hero. So family, as I always do, the first thing I look at is justice or injustice. This didn't seem fair to me, and it definitely didn't seem fair to Ms. Brenda. So the first thing I did, family, as I always say in the legal research, I don't give legal advice, I do the research. So the first thing I did, family, was look up the actual statute regarding as is. And as in most laws, family, I found there were some exceptions or some things that was left out. Now in Colorado, as is statute at the time, I think it was called misrepresentation. Yeah, you could sell a car with no liability as is, basically, long as you make truthful representations. You cannot make misrepresentation in the inducement of the sale. What do I mean by that? by lying to the potential customers that you have done things to the car, material statements of things you've done to the car that you have. In this case, my client did one thing, well, a few things that helped her. She had taken a gentleman along, an old family in the family, just to be with her. And the mechanic had made statements to her that the car he was a certified mechanic. The car had been checking out that they had put a not new, but a rebuilt tranny in the car, and they guaranteed the tranny. So, and other representation. So, under those representations, my client felt confident buying the car. So, when I saw that, I said, this is an interesting case. Let's go out here. I'll go out here with you, and let's see if we can negotiate. So, from here where it gets kind of funny. So, we go into the car sales and parking lot. I can see right away, family, what they are. Basically, a bunch of old guys that's sitting around looking like coke heads and car heads. They look like they could take a car apart and fix it and had the gift of gab and sales. They knew the car game and they knew all the tricks of the car game. So we went in there and Miss Brenda let me do the talking. I said, look, come on, man. I said, look.
Come on, man.
Let's try it again.
Come on, man.
I said, come on, man. All the lady wants is either you give her Cadillac back, which came here running, or $1,000 so she could use it on the purchase or our next on another purchase, like that. And then I didn't say it was another lot. I just said it was another purchase. So they looked at me descendingly, disgustedly, and like, who is you? I said, well, you're gonna find out sooner or later. So I reached into my coat like I was reaching for, and I come out with a pen. I always carry a pen like now, my number 10 jail pen. Never leave home without. So I said, sooner you're gonna find out. And they said, you get your little ass out of here. And they all kind of gathered around. They look like they could throw down. I know I'm too light to fight, too thin to wear. So I grabbed my client and we backed out. But like Arnold Schwarzenegger, I said, I don't want to be back. She was my pen. I went directly to small claims and helped my client file a complaint. And then I come back with a recorder. Did not have cell phones at the time, cameras. But I had a recorder. And when I walked in the store, I identified who I was. So now I'm a process server here under the auspiciousness of the court. I said, throw me out now. Call the police now. And I served the mechanic. I served the manager. And finally, the boss saw me. One of the guys, he the one told me to get my ass out. And he jumped out, he ran out the back door and jumped in his truck and tried to get away. But at that time, I was kind of young and wild. I had a little turbo car. And I got right, he got on the highway. Every time he looked back, I was holding the paper. I mean, we was great. So he pulled up, went to his part of the town and pulled up in the gas station with his windows rolled up, like, I don't know what. So I threw the papers in the back of the truck. And I said, you've been served. I turned around to a customer. I said, you're a witness and got this license now. So that's how I got him served. So then a couple of days later, family, I went back to what I call a poor man EBT. Not the food stamp, for the examination before trial, deposition, or in this case, just an interrogatory. So with these interrogatories, family, I asked questions about all of his assets and his taxes and all of this information, and even subpoenaed. I guess he never had anyone serve these interrogatories. People was too poor to go to court. That's what they kind of depend on to hire an attorney. So he looked at it and he called his attorney. He said, this gentleman is in here with what he called interrogatory, asked me all these questions. Do I have to answer? So apparently and obviously his attorney, so he slammed the phone down. He got out his checkbook and he wrote my client with her a check for $1,000, and he said, and give her a card too. And he looked at me and said, don't you ever bring your black ass back into my shop. I was glad. Now, family, there's one other interesting part of the story and I want to tell you about before I close out right quick. In preparation for a trial with my clients' family, I always show them how to prepare for trial. Usually the attorney that's most prepared wins the case. Trial is about procedure, family. Most cases never get to the merit or the warrant unlaws by procedures. And as you can see, this is 1998. I was studying procedures before then. You can see the stickers made. And ever since. So, this is what's part of the trial procedure, was the interrogatory. So, in preparation back, I was talking about preparation. It's the key. You gotta prepare. Usually you gotta prepare wins the most, just in sports. So in preparation, I was doing my factual history. Law is two rivers, the law and the fact. So I researched where the car was purchased and found out it was purchased from one of the largest car lots in Colorado, Refunds. Cadillac, those of you know Refunds. So I went and got what we call a subpoena dusum tecum. That's for documents. You have two types of subpoena, for peoples and documents, as testimony or evidence in the trial. So I went to Refunds and asked for the manager and served on my subpoenas and told him I need the history of the car, because I was looking for evidence of purchase price, the conditions of the car, stuff like that, because I wanted to show that the used car salesman knew or should have known the condition of the car and lied about the car and was unconscious even in the price of the car. So the man said, I'll get it to you in a day or so. I'm busy. I said, no, sir, Mr. Manager, you don't quite understand. My document says forthwith. I told you, in law, one word makes it different whether you go free or the penitentiary or win or lose. I said, perhaps you need to ask your office, your law firm, what the word forthwith means. I said, I don't have time. I said, okay. And then once again, I reached like I was reaching for something. I come out with my pen. And I said, sir, I will be back shortly with subpoenas for you as a defendant and as a witness, as I file a show-cause motion for you for contempt of court and a motion for you to compel to comply to my motion on the original subpoena. So somehow family, Mrs. Rickenbach heard the commotion and heard all this legalese. I was right in the middle of the store. She come out, I could hardly see her for the diamonds and the jewelry. Elderly lady, but very distinct. And she said, sir, to me, what seems to be the problem? And I told her, And she said, could you give me 30 seconds? I said, yes, ma'am. She got it, went into the office, and I could see her fingers. I couldn't quite see her fingers down as big as just spark. Lit up office. And she came out to her door, and she said, sir, it was about 4:30 in the evening. She said, well, 8:30 in the morning be sufficient for you? And I said, yes, ma'am, quite. And looked at the manager and smiled. He turned red. The next morning, she called me. They called Rick. I was getting ready to get in the shower about 8 o'clock. By far right, and some of the documents are ready for you. You can pick them up in the office. So family, just knowing the law, and not the threat, but the informed consent or informing your opponent what you can do can turn a problem or a case around. So family, I hope you enjoyed that. I call it the case of beating the brakes off a abusive car sale. One more time, folks. But family, in the meantime, excuse me, if you have legal questions, consumer questions, I'm still your best answer. Not your only answer, family, but your best answer. You see my experience and my normal strolling, dial me up. Let's see if I have a remedy, and be careful out there, and thanks again.